So one of my bugbears about this time of year is, well, everything's just all so green. Well, tonight we're going to come out, we're going to embrace the green and take a series of photographs showcasing green in all its glory, which for digital photography can be a bit of a pain in the backside. So I find it kind of amusing, really, that I dislike this time of year because of the amount of greenery, when green is in fact my favourite colour. It's just in terms of taking photographs of it, I find it incredibly cheerful and incredibly dull, and I think it's because we spend 6 months of the year just surrounded by nothing but it. Autumn colour, it tends to last for 2 or 3 weeks. This stuff, it lasts for months, and it just starts to grate on you a little bit. So what I'm doing here is essentially a bit of a callback to how I used to take photographs years ago. Just finding things in the landscape, which granted is extremely green, but the big red lighthouse over there, it just really stands out against the rest of the greenery. So I've thrown the plastic fantastic lens on, the 40 to 150, and we're just going to punch in and just see what we can do. There's a bit of a wheat field here, and there are some little clusters of things in there which we can use as foregrounds and leading lines and all that kind of fun stuff, so let's just see what happens with it. I'm in aperture priority mode. It's my go-to handheld camera mode. I'm just going to focus right on the red lighthouse way off in the distance, and I'm going to try and use some of this field as a bit of a leading line. f5.6, a 6/40th of a second, ISO 200. Lighthouse right in the middle. Here it is. So I've just noticed there's a gap in these trees, and we're going to frame a ship moored at this dock, but we're going to frame it with the greenery. That's kind of the angle where I'm landing with this, is just shooting the greenery as an element inside of the frame. So let's have a look. So I might not be tall enough for this, so bear with me. Let's focus on the ship. f5.6, a 1600th of a second, and ISO 200. Just move around a little bit because there is a leaf just blowing in the way. That seems to work. Just using the greenery and finding colours that are sort of contrasting against it, instead of just going, oh my god, it's so green. Here's that photograph. So just walking down the track a little ways, and just sort of out of nowhere the lights kind of warmed up a little bit. It's a little bit more golden. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've been out and shot landscapes in this kind of light. So I'm on a little gravel track where there's a gate protecting nothing because you can go either side of it. I don't know why it exists. Leading up to the lighthouse, but there's a green bush next to it. So I'm just going to see if I can get all of these elements combined into something using the pathway as a little bit of a leading line. So again, I've got the 40 to 150 on. It just seems like a nice little handheld walk around lens. There's 2 lighthouses off in the distance, but for this one I'm focusing on the red one. Let's have a look, see what we can do. f4.3, ISO 200, a 500th of a second. Let's just recompose, didn't like that too much. There we go, see how it turns out. So where I live in Hull, we have a ferry terminal, and if I move out of frame, you may be able to see there's a ferry coming down the river. P&O ferries. I apologise if I'm being backlit and silhouetted here, but this is kind of where I want to aim with this photograph. I'm hoping that the ferry is going to go in front of the sun, and I'm going to be able to get a silhouetted photograph of this ferry as it goes past. It's been a long time since I've shot silhouettes. I've got we're about an 8,000th of a second, f6.3, and I'm really hoping I can get the ferry in a shiny bit of water with some really nice sort of orange glow behind it. Let's see how it turns out. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It's been too long since I've done this kind of thing. Just come out without a goal, without anything in mind, and just taking photos just for the sheer enjoyment of taking photos. I used to shoot a lot like this a few years back, and yeah, it's something that's kind of gone missing. You know, from my little thing that I do, it's kind of gone missing. It's a bit of a shame, really. I'm just going to put the camera in a different mode. Wonder if this is going to work. F8's probably a bit extreme. 5 will do. Yeah, that's not going to work. That ferry's back though. Excuse me, I've got liquids in my eye. Right, on to the next one. What do you reckon? I think a setting sun photograph behind the lighthouses. Same sort of thing, a silhouetted, long lens. See if we can make that sun nice and big. What time are we on now? We're about an hour away from sunset, so we've got time to get down there, but yeah, I'm thinking a silhouetted lighthouse photograph. So this may be a shot to nothing, or it may work out well. I don't know, we're going to find out, but there's a wheat field here, same one we've been along for most of this video. We see there's a tree line just behind me, and there is some sort of old sign off in the distance, and I was kind of just going to try and create something using the yellows and the greens and the blues. Let's see what we can do. So if I turn round, if I'm still in frame here, we shoot right across this wheat field. So a lot of this frame is going to be yellows with a little slither of green coming in and a lot of blue sky. Let's have a look. Something like that. Maybe a little bit different. Something like that. I don't know. Could be nothing shot. Could be something shot. Here it is. I'll be honest, it almost feels illegal to come down to Paul and not take a photograph of the church that nestles in the trees just in the background. Everybody that comes down here has to take that photo. So there's a lovely little bit of golden light just shining on this now. So it's nestled in the trees. Let's have a look at taking a photograph of it. Still got the plastic fantastic on, using the wheat field once again. Some nice yellow hues in there now. 2/50th of a second, f5.6, ISO 200. There we go, the photograph of the old church. I'm not alone tonight. Come out with Dave Flower. Some of you may remember him from my early videos at the start of this channel. Some of you may actually watch his content yourselves. It's been far too long since I've actually really been out just shooting with somebody, and to be honest, it's actually making quite a pleasant change. So we've now made the old lighthouses, and mercifully the sun's dropping low enough where I may be able to get this silhouette photograph of the lighthouse that I really want. We're roughly 45 minutes away from sunset, which is plenty of time just to scope out the composition and find a spot where the sun's going to look nice against this. Again, silhouettes are not something I often photograph, and it has been some time since I have photographed them, so there may be some trial and error in here. I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to get the photograph that I have in mind, which is the lighthouse with a nice big orange sun behind it and a lot of silhouetting going on. But before I move on to silhouetting this lighthouse, you may be able to see just on the side of this frame there is just a really nice glow if you position yourself in the right spot. So I'm kind of wondering if I can get the lighthouse with the sun just behind it. We might get a really nice fun glow coming from behind the lighthouse, but you'll still be able to maintain the detail on there. And it just it might just make for a really nice little bit of, you know, light play. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can achieve with this one. So one thing to be aware of when doing something like this is obviously it's going to be lens flare. I am shooting directly into the sun, which is something, I'll be honest, I don't often do, and I tend to avoid. I don't like it, but we're going to try this anyway. And looking through the camera, if I can get myself in the right spot, there's no flare there, there's flare there, there is no flare there. So if I focus on the lighthouse, it's this really nice little glow behind it. It looks really fun. So here's that photograph, and now I'm going to concentrate and think about this silhouette photograph. Hope I'm able to achieve it though. So in order to achieve what I'm hoping to do with this one, we need to bear a couple of things in mind. First thing being shutter speed. We need a nice fast shutter speed to get the silhouette and to keep the sun from overexposing and turning that nice orange colour that you see in photographs. And to increase the size of the sun, we need to increase our focal length. So a longer focal length will bring the background a little bit closer to the subject, and in doing so, it will also increase in size as well. It also means we're going to need to get a little bit further back. I don't know how far back we're going to need to get, so we're going to try here and just see what we can do. And that might actually work. Excuse me for 1 second. So if I focus on yield there, yeah, this might be the spot. I might have nailed it first time, which is unusual for me. So please just excuse this slightly underexposed video that I'm showing you right now. I just want to get into your minds what I'm looking for. You see how we have the lighthouse silhouetted here? We also have the sun, which is dipping below these clouds right now, which is going to really add to this photograph, I think. It's going to really backlight and just show some drama and some detail in them clouds. But I also want to get them a little bit closer together. You see how far apart they are right now? So that means we're going to have to move a little bit, but I've got a plan in mind. So let's head down, and hopefully we're going to take a really nice silhouette photo of this. And I'm hoping that the lighthouse over here is just going to show some sort of highlights on this edge of it, where the sunlight's catching it. Let's see what happens. So this is my plan. I'm going to move down into this field, and that just brings the lighthouse and the sun just a little bit closer together, and it also eliminates the horizon with all of the industrialness that's going on back towards the docks in Hull. And this looks absolutely fantastic, and just like I thought, there is a little highlight catching on the side of the lighthouse, a nice dark foreground, a nice dark lighthouse, and some real drama and excitement in the clouds in the sky. That's, yeah, I'm very pleased. It's been a long time since I've taken a photograph like this. I forgot just how much fun this actually is. Let's have a look. Can we do a landscape one? A portrait one even? Let's have a look. Yeah. Very happy with those. I'll show you the one that I prefer, landscape or portrait, but yeah, very happy boy. There's a little bit of colour as well kicking off, so happy days. Now ready, you can't see me, but I just really wanted to showcase a little bit of the funsies going off back in the distance of there. So thank you very much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it, honestly, it's just made such a refreshing change to get out without a plan and just see how things change and develop through the course of a couple of hours, and I generally really enjoyed myself tonight. So if you have enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed making it, please do give it a thumbs up and like. It really does help the video, and it helps bring new viewers to see my content. And if you're new here, you see me for the first time, my name is Chris. You can always drop me a subscribe down below and you'll see more micro four thirds related nonsense from myself every single week. So until next time, I'm just going to love you and leave you and just say peace and goodbye.